Episode 4 of Tougen Anki, titled Work With Me, picks up the intense forest training arc introduced in Episode 3, diving deeper into the chaotic dynamics of Shiki Ikonos, Jin Kugasaki, and Homari Bubagora as they navigate Nato Mudano's brutal game of tag. The episode, which aired on August 1st, 2025 at 11 o'clock p.m. JST on Nippon TV, centers on the fallout from Homari's uncontrollable Blood Eclipse release, a monstrous blood titan that threatens to overwhelm the trio's fragile alliance. Shiki, still grappling with his newly awakened Doni blood, struggles to summon his signature blood shotgun, while Jin's calculated precision with his blood-forged chainsaw blades contrasts sharply with Shiki's impulsive nature. The forest setting, dense and foreboding, amplifies the tension as the students face not only their teacher's relentless pursuit but also the psychological weight of their own powers and pasts. Key moments include Shiki and Jin's reluctant teamwork to counter Homari's rampaging form, a sequence that blends visceral action with emotional stakes. Homari's blood titan, revealed to be tied to her traumatic past, serves as a haunting manifestation of her inner turmoil, with her cries for her older sister adding a layer of tragedy to the chaos. The episode builds to a climactic moment where Shiki, driven by his desire to protect his teammates, finally taps into his Blood Eclipse release with newfound control, delivering a devastating shotgun blast that halts Homari's rampage. Meanwhile, Nato observes from the shadows, his cryptic approval of Jin's skills hinting at deeper motives. The atmosphere is gritty and relentless, with Studio Hibari's dark color palette and dynamic camera work emphasizing the stakes of this shonen battleground, where survival hinges on mastering one's demons, both literal and figurative. Studio Hibari delivers a visually striking episode, though not without flaws. The forest setting is rendered with meticulous detail, from the gnarled roots to the eerie mist that cloaks the battlefield, creating a claustrophobic backdrop that mirrors the characters' internal struggles. The animation shines during the action sequences, particularly when Shiki's blood shotgun erupts in a crimson explosion or when Jin's chainsaw blades slice through the air with surgical precision. However, the episode suffers from occasional inconsistencies, especially in less intense moments. Background characters and some transitional scenes feel flat, with noticeable drops in frame rate that disrupt the flow compared to the polished chaos of Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer. Tougen Anki's animation is a step below inconsistency but compensates with its raw, gritty aesthetic that suits the story's darker tone. The voice cast elevates the episode's emotional weight. Kazuki Ura's portrayal of Shiki captures the delinquent's brash defiance while hinting at his growing sense of responsibility, particularly in his desperate pleas to reach Homari. Manaka Iwami's Homari is a standout, her voice trembling with vulnerability during her traumatic outburst, making the Blood Titan's rampage feel deeply personal. Kutaro Nishiyama's Jin, cool and detached, provides a perfect foil, though his reserved delivery occasionally feels one note. The supporting cast, including Hiroshi Kamiya as the enigmatic Nato, adds gravitas, with Kamiya's subtle inflections suggesting layers yet to be explored. Compared to the emotive depth of Chainsaw Man's voice work, Tougen Anki holds its own but could benefit from more nuance in quieter moments. The pacing in episode 4 is a double-edged sword. The episode barrels through action sequences with breakneck speed, keeping viewers on edge as the trio battles Homari's Blood Titan and Nato's looming threat. However, the rapid cuts between combat and character-driven flashbacks particularly Homari's trauma can feel jarring, leaving little room for the emotional beats to breathe. The episode's 24-minute runtime struggles to balance the trio's dynamics, the training arc stakes, and the lore surrounding Blood Eclipse releases. While this intensity suits the shonen genre, it risks overwhelming viewers unfamiliar with the manga. Unlike Naruto's more measured approach to similar training arcs, slowing down for key character moments could enhance the narrative's impact. The episode's greatest strength lies in its character dynamics. Shiki and Jin's rivalry, sparked in episode 2, evolves into a grudging partnership with their clashing personalities, Shiki's impulsiveness versus Jin's precision creating compelling tension. Homari's breakdown adds emotional depth, framing the Oni as more than monstrous threats but as individuals burdened by their heritage. The concept of blood eclipse releases, where powers reflect personal trauma, remains a creative highlight, offering a fresh spin on shonen power systems akin to My Hero Academia's quirks but with a darker, more psychological edge. The episode also sets up intriguing questions about NATO's motives and the broader Oni Momotara conflict, hooking viewers for what's next. Despite its strengths, episode 4 stumbles in execution. The animation's inconsistency detracts from the immersion, particularly in non-combat scenes that feel rushed. The pacing, while energetic, sacrifices character development for action, making Homari's trauma feel like a plot device rather than a fully realized arc. Additionally, the episode leans heavily on familiar shonen tropes, rivalries, training arcs, and tragic backstories without enough innovation to stand out from peers like Blue Exorcist or Jujutsu Kaisen. A bolder approach to subverting these tropes could elevate the series beyond its generic but decent label. Episode 4 of Tougen Anki is a thrilling, if flawed, chapter in Shiki's journey, delivering pulse-pounding action and intriguing character dynamics while struggling with pacing and animation consistency. The episode's exploration of blood eclipse releases as extensions of personal trauma is a standout, offering a fresh lens on the shonen power system that sets the stage for deeper storytelling. Shiki's growth, Jin's enigmatic presence, and Homari's heartbreaking outburst make the trio a compelling core, but the series needs to refine its execution to truly rival its influences. As the forest arc continues, I'm cautiously optimistic that Tougen Anki will find its footing, potentially carving a unique niche in the crowded shonen landscape. For now, it's a solid, gritty watch that's worth sticking with for fans of dark fantasy and character-driven action.